Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I thought I would do a little demo of makeup from start to finish. For some of you who are 50 plus, you know we face certain challenges with our appearance as far as gliding makeup over, making our eyes look better, and not having dry patches or wrinkles accentuated by makeup or application. And I think a lot of it has to do with our skincare. First of all, you have to have really good skincare in order to have your makeup look good. So you have to make sure that you wash your face well, you exfoliate, put a serum on of some sort, and a moisturizer. It's kind of very basic, and when you have makeup go on and it doesn't look very good or it looks patchy, a lot of times it's not the makeup that's at fault, it's your bad skincare. So just keep in mind that skincare is probably the number one most important thing. The next most important thing is to have the right kind of mirror. Make sure you have a magnifying mirror. And this is so you can just check in, because we lose our vision, presbyopic middle-aged vision, whatever they call it. We start losing our vision right around, 35 and over. So by the time you're in your 50s or 60s, you wind up, really needing 3.5 readers, and that's something that's not so good. So since a lot of us are in not the greatest financial shape we've ever been in our lives, budgeting is really important, and spending a lot of money on makeup isn't really priority right now when you have rent and groceries and electric bills and things like that to pay. So with that in mind, I'm very sensitive to that. This is the first month since 2013 when I started my channel. This is the very first month that I have not bought one single item of makeup. It is the first month. And so as I'm coming into my March faves and flops era, which will be next week's video, I don't have a lot of makeup to show you because it just really hasn't been any in play. I did want to kind of dedicate this particular episode to Profusion Cosmetics. I think that they are an underrated brand. A lot of people snub them because they are so inexpensive. How could they possibly be good? And I can tell you that I have right now a full face of Profusion Cosmetics. Even the false lashes are Profusion. And I've got to tell you that their makeup, this is one of the best foundations I have ever used. I've used everything, including La Mer. I have used all kinds of very expensive brands. I have used many store brands. I always try new things when they come out. As you know, thousands of foundations have graced this face, and very few of them work really well. Some of the early ones that I tried, I didn't have good skincare, so I'm trying them again just to make sure I didn't like them, and some of them actually work better than I thought. But this is the Feel Good Skin, it's called. This is from Profusion. This is goes a long way. This is a very pigmented and thick foundation. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, it goes on, it stays on all day, it looks great. It's a skin-like finish. You don't see wrinkles, you don't see pores. It's really good. If you have large pores, this covers them. This is one of the best foundations I think I have ever used. It's in my top 5 of all time. So, and that's saying a lot because I really do try a lot of foundations. And as an older woman with wrinkles and, skin problems, that you get as you age, with dry skin issues and things like that. This works really well. So I totally recommend the Profusion Feel Good Skin Foundation. I wasn't so keen on the cream products. This is the Pro Conceal and Contour Palette. And I love the idea of this because you have a cream section with a cover, and the cream section has color correctors. So if you have a lot of ruddy redness, you can use the green on it to offset it. If there's a lot of purpley darkness, you can use the yellow to offset it. These are the two shades of orange, one for darker skin tones and one for lighter skin tones. Orange can color correct really nicely if you've got any kind of darkness. And they're inclusive here. They have concealers in 4 different shades, and then they have a cream bronzer if you want it, or a cream concealer if you have a very dark skin tone. So I like the fact they're inclusive, they're inexpensive. My only complaint here is I think, a combination of these 2 colors in the concealer, and I think it does kind of sink into the cracks. So the concealer was not my favorite, I'll have to say that. I did like using this as a cream contour, and I did like using the powders. All of the powders worked really nicely. This one up here, there is a cream highlight, there is a powder highlight, and then there's 2 powders here. We have darker powders, getting darker. Again, you can use them as face powders with darker skin tones. You can use them as contour like I did, using this color and this color for contour and bronzing for lighter skin tones. So this is a very, very multi-purpose palette, and it's very inexpensive. Most of their pricing, you know, ranges from $4 on up to like $12. So palettes like this are very inexpensive, and it's really nice. As I moved into the blush and bronze, I actually really enjoyed this, mostly for the blush shades here. You can use these 4 shades in here as blushes. This one I didn't like so much on my skin. Maybe, you know, a younger person or somebody with really pink tones can wear this, but it's not flattering on me, so I don't use that. But I do love these 3 shades. They're very pigmented, so just a teeny bit on the brush, and then I blend it really well. And I start my blush here and work up to the back. When you're older, that's much more flattering than doing your blush down in this area, because your cheeks tend to sink down, and you really want to keep uplifted. You want everything to work up. So your blush, contour, everything goes up. And then they do have a shiny highlighter here. I think it's very attractive on mid to darker skin tones, but as far as Lily White Me, I opted for something else. I went actually for an eyeshadow for my highlighter, and this is one of many palettes that Profusion has. This is the Minimalist palette. I thought it had a wonderful selection and assortment of eye colors. It has an assortment of shimmers, metallics, and matte shades. You can do complete eyes, you can do several different types of looks, purpley looks, brown looks. It's very, very wonderful, diverse kind of palette. I think, you know, the mid-tones you can use as your crease color, and I like to go a little bit over the brow bone. And I do like, you know, these satins, and the metallics are a little bit crunchy. So let me just show you that it's a little bit crunchy, but just stick it in the center of your eye. Look what happens. Isn't that neat? I'm just putting it in my center bar there. Isn't that cool? So, I mean, it has a really nice variety of colors that you don't have to spend a lot of money for. Now, if I were to use this in real life, I would actually put a glitter primer on, so that when I stuck this on, it would adhere to that glitter primer and it wouldn't move around and fall down on my face, which tends to happen when you're blinking. You're moving that around at a really fast pace, so the glitter might come down on the rest of your face. So if you do wear glitter, I do recommend that. But isn't that pretty? You know, it's just a very pretty extra on your appearance. So I think there really weren't any shades in here that I didn't like. I mean, I use pretty much everything. I've experimented with different ones. I'm almost to pan on this top one here, these two top ones, because I use them for a base shade all the time. And then we have, you know, some of our mid shades. I would have loved a dark blue in this. It would have made it complete for me, but there are some really nice purples. There's some nice, like autumn time, you can use these kind of tan colors in that. I use the 10 and 2, I call it, that section right in here. And in here, I like to put a color of some sort, like a pink or a coral or an orange or a tan. I think it just kind of adds something to the look, so it's not just plain crease color and then darkness on the end. I would have liked more darker colors in this palette as well. But again, I mean, this palette I think was like $5, you know, and they're always having sales on their website. Now, they did not send me this stuff. This is not sponsored in any way. They don't know I'm doing this video. This is just, I thought I would focus on it because they're so darn inexpensive, and why not? You know, why not have a great inexpensive line? One thing that did disappoint me, and I have to say, the brushes. I absolutely hated all of the brushes. I didn't like the eye brushes. I didn't like the face brushes. They feel very cheap. They feel very flimsy. They're just flimsy. You know, the blushing one, it just feels very, very flimsy and cheap, and God knows what these brushes are made out of. The eye brush was very weird. I mean, as far as using it to line or to blur an eyeshadow, yeah, you could do that, but I just thought in general this was a very cheap set, and I just didn't like it. So I wouldn't recommend the brushes. I just can't. This, of course, is kind of, you know, they have these everywhere. I mean, it's just a brush here. It's supposed to be a brow brush and a lash comb. So, I mean, it works, it's functional, but again, I don't think brushes is where they excel. Also, too, the brow products, they used to have the best brow kit ever. And I don't know what happened. It's not on their website anymore, but the brow products from Profusion are the best. They're absolutely the best. Now, the mascaras, I really enjoyed using these and demonstrating them because this is a 3-pack, and I think it was like a Christmas thing, you know, a Christmas special. But it's a great way to try out the 3 different types of mascara they have. They have a volumizing formula, a lengthening formula, and a waterproof formula. And I think that those 3, it was a great way to check it out. So I basically put the lengthening on this side, I put the volumizing on this side, and I showed you the difference. And then I put the waterproof over both. And I like to go on both sides, the upside and the underside of a mascara when I'm putting a waterproof mascara over the top, because I think it's important to, if you're going to an event where it's going to be very hot, or you're going to be sweating or crying, a funeral, something like that, I would use a waterproof mascara over the top of my other mascara. It doesn't really add a whole lot of length or volume, but it does add that little layer of protection from the mascara melting down and getting on your skin and causing smears or dings up here. So I like their mascara. I think the volumizing gave me a bit more of a fuller lash than the lengthening did. And usually volumizing mascaras have fibers in them, so they have a little bit more zing to them. So I do like the volumizing mascara. The waterproof mascara on its own was pretty meh, but as a protective unit to put it over the top of another mascara, it's very functional, so I'm keeping that. The lengthening mascara was okay. I really preferred the volumizing. I think out of all of their mascaras, I think the volumizing impressed me the most. As far as their lashes go, these were really nice. They went on, they stay on, they do a good job. This particular set, this doesn't seem to have a name for what it is, but it is, their false lashes are nice. It is a solid band. I usually like to have an invisible band, but they do have a solid band, as you can see. but you know, it does look just like an eyeliner on your eye. It does look very natural, this particular set. And I always cut about 1/4 of an inch off. I don't know if I have it here, what I cut off. I want to show you what I cut off of the lashes off of each end. I cut it off of the outside edge, but I have to cut that much off in order for the lash to fit me correctly, where it doesn't loop down at the bottom on the outside or stick out funny on the inside. So I usually have at least a finger length here before I start the fake lash, and I make sure it stops right at the edge. It can't go over at all. And you have to make sure that it doesn't go over at all, or the lash will look very fake. It won't turn up the way you want it to, and it can look very, very awkward on you. As far as the lip product goes, I didn't have a lip liner from them, but I do know they have them. I find their lip products have a scent to them that I'm not attracted to. This is the Lip Dazzler. This particular color is Lovely. It's called Lovely. It's a pink color. I guess they figure it's kind of a neutral color. I would choose a different color if I were to go it, but I'm actually not that impressed with this, even though I love the idea that they have the lip gloss on the bottom attached, and then they have on the top a full twist up lipstick, which I think is pretty cool. So I mean, it's a nice idea. The lipstick has a strong scent to it though, and a lot of you don't like scent in your makeup, and it's not even like a fruity scent. It's a floral kind of chemical scent, so I just don't recommend that. It does look okay on. I mean, the lip gloss really ties it in and gives you some shine. It does last okay, but I think this isn't their strongest product, and I wouldn't personally recommend the Lip Dazzlers, but they do have a nice assortment of colors. And if you are traveling and you want a lip gloss and a lipstick together, it's a great idea. Now, not mentioned or used in the demo because it's a limited edition item. Every Christmas time, holiday time, winter fest time, what is it, Festivus season, they put out some kind of a collection of makeup for one set price, like $25. And this, after Christmas holiday Festivus season is over, they put them on sale. And these things usually have an incredible amount of different types of products. We have a really nice assortment here of highlighters, glitters. We have a nice blush assortment here. And then we've got this beautiful assortment of eyeshadows, which again, you know, when you have a shiny eyeshadow, such as this, you can use it as a highlighter. And you can use it, you know, basically around in different ways. I mean, you could be creative. This has a wonderful assortment. You've got a nice little green section, you've got a blue section, you've got a purple section, you've got a tan and brown section. This is one perfect palette. And this particular set, of course it's not available anymore, but this was the Festivus set that came out in 2020. And I bought mine, I think, in January of 21. So it was a great thing. It's a great carrier. I mean, it looks like a little briefcase, notebook kind of thing. The colors are perfect. It's an all-around. You can do a whole face. You can travel with this really nicely. It's wonderful. You just need some mascara and some lipstick, and you're there. You're good to go. I'm going to show you a quick demo of how I did my face. Well, here's the demo, and this is the before, and I have washed, exfoliated, moisturized. Now this is the sunscreen, which I put on. I like to do about 30 minutes before I put my makeup on, so I generally put the sunscreen on, and then I go have my cup of coffee, check emails, things like that. I always put excess on my hands. There I am waiting. Okay, now I'm back. Going to start off with actually a higher end product. That's the MAC Paint Pot. It's actually a cream eyeshadow, but most people know it as a great eye primer because it doesn't move in your eyelids. Here is that outstanding. It's a skin perfector, but it is like a foundation. I put way too much on my hand there. I'm just gonna, normally I smear it around with my fingers, but for demonstration purposes, since I'm supposed to be like knowing what I'm doing, I'm putting it on a brush, dabbing it all over my face. And yes, you can see it is the wrong color for my skin because I ordered it from online, and of course online you can't tell. This is the shade Light 1. I should have gone with the Fair, I think, Fair 2. This is really good at covering over pores. I am taking it down the neck since it is such a dark, strange color, but it does blend like a dream. It lasts all day. It doesn't sink into the puddles and crevices of my face, and I really like it. My favorite way to apply this actually is with my fingers, and then I have to wash my hands. So I'm just smoothing all the areas where it can tend to sink in. Now I'm showing you a little close up here. Alright, this is the Pro Conceal Contour Palette. This is a combination of powders and creams. They did cover the creams section, and there are some color correctors up top. I'm using a couple of the White Girl concealer colors, using a brush to blend them in. Normally I would put them on my finger and smooth them in, but that's not teaching you good habits, is it? Now I'm going into the light orange shade and a little of the white, going around the edge of my nose in places where it normally goes a little bit red or discolored, around my lips and the chin. Of course, I get a lot of redness there. Now I'm going to use the powder puff in the White Girl shade of powder, and I'm just going to tap it in. And yes, I do blend that a little better than it appears in this lighting, but I do kind of smear it around a little bit more than what I'm showing you. In a normal life situation, I wouldn't wear that much either. Going now into a contour, and yep, it looks like a big blob there. I am just smearing it out, so I'm like filtering it out on the edge and really blending it in a lot. And I do it along the jawline just to kind of carve a little bit of, dimension and bring my features out a little bit more. This will smooth out a little bit as I get to the blush section. I wasn't crazy about that concealer. Now the blush and bronze has shimmery brown shades. I did not use those. I do like that particular blush, and again, very strongly pigmented, which is nice if you have darker, medium to dark skin tones. These shades all will show up on your skin, which is nice, and you won't look ashy. And if you have very light skin like me, you can build it up a little. There I am putting a little bit of that blush on the 10 and 2 of my eyes as well. And I think I'm done with that one. Moving into the Minimalist eye palette. This is one of like 150 eye palettes that they have. I'm using a light shimmer shade as a highlighter. There's a little bit of shimmer in there. Looks like glow. I kind of like it. Back again with brow pencil, and that is a NYX micro brow pencil, and drawing a little caveman eyebrow there. I don't know what I was thinking. I think this was first thing in the morning, so you're gonna have to give me a little bit of break here, but normally I would draw this on and I would really smooth it out and spend some time with it. Since we're rushing and I'm showing you everything, I'm just lightly kind of brushing it. It does look still awkward, but once I put this other thing on, this is the Ulta. This is the Ulta liquid brow color, and that kind of smooths it out a little bit. Yep, still looks a little cavemanish. I wouldn't have it quite that big normally. Don't know why that happened, but okay. Now we're opening the Minimalist eyeshadow palette to do some eye looks, and I'm starting off blending the two lighter matte colors to create kind of a powder base for the rest of the colors. And I'm going in with the same brush, which is unlike me, but I'm using the same brush in that light mid-tone neutral brown. And now I'm going to a slightly darker brown to bring out the orbital bone. I'm going just above on the orbital bone just to give more of an illusion of dimension to my face and my eyes. Just kind of giving the optical illusion of depth with that dark color. I'm going really brave, gonna go a blop, blop there with the dark color, and I'm gonna use a fresh clean brush to smush it all around to shear it out. Want to make it a little bit sheer on the edges so it's not quite so harsh lines, and probably should blend that a little bit more. You makeup artists are probably just absolutely wincing at this, but I do smear everything together and blend it all together in the end, and it really doesn't look that bad. All right, taking my finger, which is another no-no, and putting it on the 10 and 2 of my eyes. You see, I'm just kind of smearing it along the edge of the other thing, and I'm taking some of that bright stuff and just doing a little dot just underneath the high arch of my brow and on the inner corners of my eye, so that brightens it up. And you can see there's a completely different change. I'm using a very thin brush here. It looks almost like a pencil on the end, and I am just kind of drawing a little bit of a line under my eyes. I don't use eyeliners or liquid liners, but this is quite a strong line. But I am wearing fake lashes eventually, so this will offset it. I'm using a light shimmer on the inner half of the lower lid. These are the brushes, which I bought because it was a cute little set, but that's just about it. It's a cute little set. It does not at all function very well. Absolutely, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a little Christmas special they had. It's a mini brush set. Yeah, just don't, profusion, no. Brushes, no. This is a Tarte eyelash curler, and I'm now using the Profusion mascara. This one is the lengthening mascara. I'm using that one first on one side. I'm going to use the volumizing on the other side. And this is actually, I'm showing you everything I do for the look, so this is just taking forever and ever, isn't it? But this is kind of how long it takes to do your mascara. And then I do check every time I do mascara. I do check in the magnifying mirror to see where all the blips and blops and drips are, and I take them out with a preen, with a Q-tip or cotton bud. That's lengthening. I'm saying lengthening. Okay. On the other side, I'm using volumizing, and this one worked faster and better than the lengthening mascara. You can see that it is building up a lash much quicker. Now, there's usually fibers in a volumizing mascara, so that's what I like about it. I think they're not real gloppy looking fibers in this one. I think it's a pretty good one. So I think out of all of the Profusion mascaras, I like the volumizing one the best. Okay, so I'm just showing you the difference between the two, and I'm saying volumizing. Yep. Well, that was okay. That was quick. Now I'm using the waterproof mascara over the top of both of those. So, you know, if you're going to an event that's going to last for the day, the waterproof mascara is a really good choice to do over the top. And that's it. Now we're going into the Kish Lash Glue Pen Liner. And this is nice. It's unique. It's almost like drawing a line of glue onto the lid, right at the base of the lid where your lashes meet. You're just drawing a line of the lash glue, and then you just place the lashes right on top. This goes against a lot of people's grain where they put the glue on the lashes. I put the glue on my lids, and I've been doing it with the brush type of lash glue for years. Now, look how it just set down on there. I mean, it just literally just sat down on there. And that glue's pretty strong. It holds it pretty well. So, I always have trouble with one eye. For some reason, one eye doesn't set as well as the other. But there we go. Now I'm shaking up my KVD Vegan liner in Tattoo. And that is formerly Kat Von D's eyeliner, the company that owns the factory that made Kat Von D is still making a lot of those same products under the name KVD, which is slightly ridiculous marketing branding, but a lot of people are quite angry at the KVD thing. I wonder if she's going to get a vaccine. Anyway, None of my business. I'm poking little holes into the lashes to fill in where my skin shows on the lashes. Now I'm using the eyelash curler just gently to fuse together the mascaraed lashes with the fake lashes, and now I'm doing this slow glam pose. Slow, and showing you how beautiful and lovely it looks. Those lashes actually are pretty nice. For having a solid band, they worked really well, and I think they were like $5 for 2 pairs. So now this is J-Cat Beauty, another very, very inexpensive line of cosmetics. This is their lip liner in Tea Rose, and I do kind of draw lines in the middle part to give a good solid base. And then this is Profusion's Lip Dazzler. The color is called Lovely. And I'm using the lipstick first. Some people like to use a lipstick brush to really blend it nicely into the lines in your mouth. I do the fast, lazy way with everything. And I'm pouring a little bit of lip gloss over the top. And now, glam, glam, glam. Woohoo! So we'll see the before and after. And there we go. As far as Profusion goes, I think for the money, and even not just for the money, I think in general, I think you can get a beautiful look from an inexpensive line. And you know, it's budget friendly. The website is great. They always, if you get on their mailing list, they'll tell you when they have a 50% off on everything on the site sale. It's well worth it, really well worth it. I'm just sad that Target no longer carries it. They used to have a section for Profusion, and you could see all of this stuff, and I used to get, you know, get things once in a while there. So that does it for me today. I'll be with you in my next video, which will be my March faves and flops, which will probably be stuff around the house. I may have a lot of my house redone by then that I can shoot a little bit in one of the other rooms to give you a kind of a sneak peek at my new digs here. I still haven't gotten my stimulus check. I still have not gotten my refund, and I mailed it in February 3rd. And it is now, on this taping, it is March 25th. And I still have not received it. And when I go online, I don't exist. So, yeah. Anyway. I hope all of you have a very safe, healthy, happy week, and have a beautiful day. Take care, everybody. Toodles.